On the surface, One Piece seems like a cheerful shonen adventure series. In many ways, it is exactly that. But it also has its share of deeply disturbing moments. That's what makes it so complex. It doesn't just stick to one mood, and it explores its world in all of its facets. Some of these shocking anime scenes revolve around enslavement, cruelty, child experimentation, illness, and other devastating subjects. Which ones upset you the most? Number 1. When Luffy tries to help Robin escape from a collapsing temple in Alabasta, Robin refuses his help at first. Because she's so miserable and hopeless that she no longer wishes to be alive. She tells Luffy as much. At this point in the series, most of her backstory has not been revealed, but her raw misery is still quite apparent. This is a shocking moment, as scenes such as these are rarely expressed in anime, especially in shonen. Luckily, Luffy saves her despite her objections. Number 2. After spending years trying to get enough money to liberate her hometown from the Arlong pirates, everything that Nami tried to prevent is happening. The villagers and the Arlong crew are fighting, and there's nothing she can do to stop them. Despairing over what she sees as inevitable destruction, she takes a knife to her own Arlong tattoo. Luffy stops her, which leads her to ask for his help, something she never could have brought herself to do before. Number 3. Dr. Hyriluk's demise was one of the most upsetting aspects of early One Piece. Not only was he up against the thoughtlessly cruel despot Walpole, but his body was also already shutting down from a combination of a terminal illness and a poisonous mushroom that Chopper fed him thinking it was a cure. When Walpole had him executed, Chopper realized that the mushroom was poisonous, making things even worse. At least there was that beautiful moment later where his research finally came to fruition, but that doesn't make this part less painful. Number 4. When Don Quixote da Flamengo appeared before King Riku, he pretended that he'd leave Dressrosa alone if King Riku gave him 10 billion berries. But just before he managed to get the money together, Da Flamengo proved that he'd never had any intention of cooperating to begin with. He used his devil fruit powers to literally control King Riku like a puppet. While under Da Flamengo's control, King Riku went on a rampage. This ended the trust and goodwill that his people had for him, and made it easy for Da Flamengo to step in as a false hero. Number 5. Viruses are frightening enough when they're not being fired at you by the person who created them. Queen not only invents life-threatening, highly contagious viruses like Mummy and Ice Oni, he also sends them flying at his targets in the most vicious way possible. This has always been scary, but if you're finding out about Queen's moves for the first time, after 2020, it's even scarier. Number 6. The world government wants to make sure that all information about the poneglyphs stays hidden. To do that, they'll resort to extreme measures. This included eliminating the entire island of O'Hara, along with nearly all of its residents, in order to prevent them from uncovering or sharing information the government wants to keep hidden. Nico Robin just barely managed to escape with her life, but she escaped knowing that no one she knew, including her mother, was going to make it. She also had to watch Saul, the giant who tried to rescue her, be frozen before she could fully escape. Number 7. One Piece deals with some tough topics, including enslavement. After escaping capture multiple times, a mermaid named Kami finally finds herself up for sale in an auction house. Seeing anyone in such deplorable conditions is upsetting. When Hatchin and a few members of the Straw Hats decided to try and buy Kami's freedom, a world noble named Charlos fired at Hatchin. It totally makes sense why Luffy felt the need to haul off and punch him, even if the consequences for doing so would be dire. Number 8. Pregnancy is rough when it's just for 9 months, but poor Gasti Rouge somehow managed to keep Ace inside of her for 20. This means that he was finally born at 11 months old. The average 11-month-old baby can weigh anywhere from 16.1 to 26.7 pounds, which means that Rouge's body was experiencing horrific strain trying to sustain her pregnancy. No wonder she passed soon after. But this isn't just awful for Rouge. Ace was deprived of important developmental experiences because he was born so late. Also, the circumstances that compelled Rouge to do this in the first place were miserable. His father was in danger, and being associated with him in any way was dangerous for Ace. Number 9. After entering the Florian Triangle, Brook and the rest of the Rumber Pirates are bombarded with toxic weapons. One by one, the members of the crew lost their lives. Because Brook had eaten the Revive fruit, he was able to come back to life after succumbing to the toxic. But he had to spend 50 long years alone on the ship after that. He couldn't steer the ship himself, so he was at the mercy of the sea. Number 10. Imagine not being able to express discontent no matter how poorly you're treated by the people in charge of your life. Now imagine that one of those people made it impossible. That's what happened to the residents of Ebisu Town. Mixed defective smile fruits in with leftovers from the flower capital. This resulted in the residents being unable to express any negative emotions no matter how they were actually feeling. It also made them unable to swim, which might have been worth it if the smile fruits gave them any powers. Of course, being defective, they did not. Do you agree with our lists or did we miss something? Write it down in the comment section. Also, don't forget to subscribe.